It was past midnight when the dogs started going nuts. Not just barking, screaming. The kind of howling that makes the hair on your ass stand up, just like your sister when I text I miss you at 2 a.m. A man in rural Oklahoma grabbed a flashlight and stepped out onto his back porch, expecting maybe a coyote or a drunk fucker stumbling through the woods again. What he saw standing by his chicken coop wasn't either of those. It was tall, at least 7 feet tall, maybe taller. It was hunched over at first, almost like it was trying to stay hid, but once the flashlight hit it, it rose to full height. Black fur, broad chest, monster-sized arms, and yellow eyes that glowed like they were reflecting something that wasn't there. He didn't move. Neither did it. Then it let out this sound. Not a growl, not a howl, something in between. Like a scream with vocal cords too big for any normal animal. The flashlight started shaking in his hand. He slowly took a step back. Surprisingly, the thing did too. But not because it was scared. Shit. More like it was sizing him up, calculating. Then, in 2 strides, it calmly turned and walked into the trees and was gone. But the footprints it left behind, he said they were 13 inches by 6 inches and looked exactly like a very big dog's tracks. Dogman is my personal favorite cryptid. Not surprisingly, this will be my 3rd video on Dogman. I'll leave the links for the others in the description. Dogman sightings aren't going away. If anything, they're getting more frequent, which really doesn't surprise me with cameras nearly every fucking where. I decided to scour the interweb for Dogman encounters that happened between 2022 and 2025, and man, grab your popcorn because this is what I found. People think being homeless means being helpless. They're wrong. 3 tours in Afghanistan taught me how to survive, and those same skills work just fine in the woods outside Lawton. I've been living out here in the Medicine Park woods for 10 years since 2015, when my VA checks stopped coming and I ran out of patience for the civilized world. Tourists wander the trails during the day, snapping pictures of boulders and pretending they're explorers. But once the sun goes down, this place belongs to me. Or at least, I thought it did. Until last winter proved I wasn't the only one staking a claim. I keep my camp pretty simple, just a tarp, a sleeping bag, and whatever I can carry in my old field pack. Never sleep in the same place too often. Always have multiple exits and keep everything low profile. Same way I did it in the mountains overseas. The first strange sign came in December. I found my food cache torn apart, but not like a bear or raccoon would do it. Nothing was broken. Someone or something had opened the containers neatly and taken exactly what it wanted. I figured, hell, maybe another homeless vet had moved in. I even left out extra cans as a goodwill offering. They disappeared too. Then the footprints started showing up. Big ones, deeper than a man or even a black bear could make. At first, I chalked it up to PTSD. but I've lived with that long enough to know the difference between flashbacks and reality. These prints were fucking real. So I started documenting, drawing the impressions, measuring stride length, mapping where I found them. Old habits kicked in. I wasn't monster hunting. I was gathering intel. It had a pattern. Every 5 days or so, it would circle through certain spots, always avoiding the tourist trails, sticking to the dense, rocky areas where granite walls channel movement. Smart. That's battlefield awareness. I've used those same formations to control traffic flow in combat zones. Then, in January, I saw it. I was checking snares around dusk when it stepped out from behind a boulder like it had all the fucking time in the world. 8 feet tall, maybe more. Built like a linebacker who'd spent his life lifting trees. Thick black fur with patches of gray. Battle scars maybe. The head like a wolf, but heavier, stronger. It didn't just look powerful. It moved like something that had never been a prey its whole goddamn life. We locked eyes. I had my knife out, but I knew it wouldn't matter. Those claws could have fucking ended me before I even got close. We stared each other down, and then it turned and walked away. Not like it was scared, more like I just wasn't worth the effort. Kind of like a veiled insult, but a good thing. I measured the prints afterward. 17 inches long, 8 inches wide. After that, we had an understanding. I avoided certain areas. It stopped raiding my food caches. We crossed paths occasionally, me gathering firewood, it moving through the trees like it fucking owned the place. We didn't challenge each other, just acknowledged. And the more I watched it, the more I realized this damn thing wasn't an animal. It wasn't some random asshole cryptid bumbling through the woods. It used cover. It tracked game. It hunted with efficiency. No wasted movement. No unnecessary kills. Spring came, and so did the crowds. Both of us retreated deeper into the quiet zones. In March, I found a fresh deer kill. Clean takedown. No mess. It didn't kill for sport, just survival. I respected that. By April, I started thinking of it less like a creature and more like a fellow operator. During a thunderstorm, I was holed up in a granite overhang. Lightning lit up the clearing, and across the way, I saw it tucked into a mirrored formation. Same kind of shelter, same tactical advantage. That's when it clicked. This thing wasn't just surviving. It was using military logic. High ground, concealment, ambush zones. From then on, I started leaving signs. Not food, that would have been a goddamn insult. Just quiet markers. Cleared branches indicating safe paths. Scratches warning of ranger patrols. Nothing flashy, just the kind of signals another soldier would recognize. It started leaving its own signs too. Scrapes on trees. Broken limbs marking hunting lanes. We weren't talking, but we were communicating, professional to professional. Through summer, as asshole tourists swarmed in with their cameras and campfires, we adapted again. We shifted deeper. I'd find its tracks near my old campsites or signs it had just passed through. Never a confrontation, just respect. One night in August, I saw it again, silhouetted on a ridge, motionless, watching me. It lifted its head slightly. Not a threat, just a nod. Then it faded into the trees. People tell stories about monsters out here, about demons and devil dogs, but they don't understand what they're looking at. This ain't some fucked up supernatural boogeyman. It's not evil. It's not good either. It's a survivor. A fellow warrior built for a world that doesn't want it anymore. Same as me. I keep my notebook updated, not because I want to expose it or go public. Hell no. But because I'm still learning shit. Everything it does, its awareness, its caution, its ability to stay hidden. It reminds me of men I served with. Rangers, operators, professionals. Out here, that kind of discipline means survival. So when people ask if I believe in Dogman, I just shrug. I've seen it. I've shared territory with it. And if it ever wanted me dead, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. That's not a monster out there. That's a soldier. And I respect that. On the night of November 4th, 2022, in the quiet little town of Ridge Farm, Illinois, 30-year-old Robert Charlesworth stepped outside for a smoke. It was just after dark, one of those chilly late fall nights where the wind sneaks right through your pants and makes your nuts snug up into your abdomen. Robert wasn't expecting any weird shit, just a quick break. A breath of cold air under a quiet sky. Then he heard something. It was a loud, steady scratching sound coming from across the street. At first, he figured it was an animal, maybe a raccoon digging through someone's trash. But the sound was off. It was heavier, deeper. Whatever was making it wasn't small. It had power. It had some sack. A little curious and maybe a little uneasy, Robert took a few steps closer. That's when it hauled ass. Whatever it was bolted before he could get too close, but not before he got a good look at it. Big, hairy, moving fast on all fours. Its fur was dark, somewhere between brown and black, and thick enough to catch the porch light. But it didn't move like any dog Robert had ever seen. It was faster, stronger. Its limbs were too long. Its back was way too fucking wide. Then it turned and looked right at him. That face. It had dog-like features, an elongated snout, pointed ears, but the eyes were something else. They weren't animal eyes. There was something almost human in them. And the body? It wasn't fully canine either. It had a humanoid shape, built, muscular, running on all fours like a dog, but clearly something more. Then it was gone. Gone like it had never been there. Straight into the cornfield and out of sight. But here's the thing. Robert wasn't the only one who saw it. Someone else did too. And they described it the exact same fucking way. When Robert tells the story now, he always says the same thing. He knows animals. He's seen wolves, coyotes, strays, you name it. This was not one of those. "This was something else," he said, "and people need to start taking it seriously." Whatever it was real. It saw him, and it's still out there. Alright, this next sighting comes out of Starved Rock, Illinois, and if you're from the Midwest, you've probably heard of it. It's a super popular vacation spot. People go there for the hiking, the waterfalls, and the nature stuff. Yeah, including getting naked. It's the kind of place where you'd expect peace and quiet, not goddamn cryptids creeping around in the dark. This report comes from a woman who actually lives near the area, not just some tourist passing through. According to her, everything started pretty subtly. She began hearing strange sounds at nights. Low howls, deep grunting, the occasional bark. Stuff you might shrug off as coyotes, wild dogs, or folks taking a trip to Pound Town, especially in a wooded area like that. At first, she didn't think much of it. Just background noise, right? But then, shit escalated. She says she started seeing figures out in the woods. Tall, upright shadows moving between the trees. Not deer, not people, and definitely not bears. She was convinced they were dogmen. Now, the creepiest part? That came one night when she was letting her dog out. It was late, dark. Her dog suddenly froze, hackles up, acting totally fucked up. That's when she heard it. Something moving just around the corner of her house in a pitch black spot. But it didn't sound like an animal. It sounded childlike. Like something imitating a little kid, trying to lure her or her dog toward it. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that pushes this sighting into a whole different category. That mimicry, that's not standard dogman behavior. That's more skinwalker or Wendigo territory. Real nope stuff. Later, she swears she got a good look at it. Says it was definitely a dogman. No fucking doubt in her mind. 6, maybe 7 feet tall, walking upright, dark fur, the whole 9 yards. And she doesn't think it's alone. She said there are 3 different ones roaming in her area. And apparently, the visits haven't stopped. The witness, a fella named Kyle, was just spending the afternoon like a lot of folks do in rural Pennsylvania, riding his go-kart around the property. That's the kind of shit you do when you got some land and a little peace and quiet to kill. But what started off as a normal ride turned into something he'll never forget. He was just cruising along a wooded section of his yard when he had this sudden feeling like he was being watched. You know how your gut just knows sometimes? He looked around, then toward the tree line, and that's when he saw it. There, standing partially hidden behind a tree, was this massive creature. He said it looked like a goddamn werewolf. Black fur, pointed ears, long-ass arms that dangled down like a primate's, and those eyes, yellow, locked right on him. It wasn't doing anything aggressive, wasn't charging, wasn't growling, just fucking standing there, watching. Kyle stopped the go-kart and stared back. For a second, it was like a standoff. Just him and this hairy fucker, neither one moving. And then the Dogman slowly stepped back into the woods and disappeared like smoke. He said he couldn't believe how quiet it was. No twigs snapping, no rustling, nothing. Like it just faded out. Later on, he went back and measured the tree it had stood next to. By his estimate, the creature had to be close to 7.5 feet tall. He also saw scratches on the tree about 7 feet up. This wasn't some overgrown coyote or mangy-ass bear. Kyle was fucking sure of that. And he's lived out there long enough to know what the local wildlife looks like. That encounter really fucked him up. He says he doesn't ride out there anymore. Not alone anyway. Something about those eyes, that silent presence. It didn't feel like just another animal. He's convinced it's still out there, and it's watching someone else right now. So what the hell is going on with all these Dogman sightings? Different states, different witnesses, different years, but the stories all start to sound eerily familiar the more you hear them. Let's look at the patterns. First off, almost every single fucking Dogman sighting happens at night. That's not too damn surprising, right? Most wild animals are nocturnal. But with Dogman, there's something more to it. It's not just moving around after dark. It's only seen after dark. No daytime sightings. No casual run-ins on a hiking trail at noon. Always under the cover of darkness. Like it fucking knows when to stay hidden. Then there's the location. Forests, cornfields, rural back roads, you name it. These things aren't showing up in downtown LA, even though they'd probably blend right in. They're sticking close to areas that are out in the goddamn boonies, places with room to move, places where they won't be spotted unless someone happens to catch them slipping. You've got sightings near tree lines, farmland, campgrounds, areas that give it quick access to both visibility and escape routes. Which brings us to the third pattern. They always vanish like shit from a goose. You never hear about someone chasing one down or cornering it. Well, cause nobody's that fucking crazy. As soon as it's seen, poof, it's gone. Into the woods, into the dark, like it was never fucking there in the first place. So, what are we dealing with? Well, there's a few theories floating around. Some say these sightings are nothing more than urban legends recycling themselves. Dogman has roots in old Native American and early settler folklore. Beasts that stalk the woods, half man, half beast, 100% shit show. It's possible that stories like these are bubbling back to the surface thanks to the internet, podcasts, and YouTube. Yeah, you're welcome. People hear about it, they get spooked, and suddenly every shadow in the woods looks like a Dogman or a skinwalker. Not everything is a skinwalker, y'all. But then again, mass hysteria doesn't leave claw marks. And it sure as fuck doesn't stare back at you before running off into the trees. This is a classic cryptozoology angle. That Dogman is a flesh and blood creature we just haven't officially documented yet. Like Bigfoot, only leaner, meaner, and more pissed off. Think about it. Since 2022, we've discovered 21 new species of critters in deep forests and remote regions of the U.S. who's to say something like this hasn't just stayed a step ahead of us? Something smart enough to hide and fast enough to vanish before a phone can come out. Here's where things get straight up weirder. Some people believe Dogman might not be from here at all, that it's not just an odd animal, it's something supernatural. Creatures like skinwalkers and shapeshifters come up in native lore, and there are parallels. The way Dogman appears and disappears, the way it seems to avoid being caught on camera. People say it gives off this fucked up energy, that it feels wrong, like you're not just seeing strange shit, you're feeling it too. That would explain why you never find bodies, why it seems to vanish into thin air. Maybe it doesn't live in our world full time. And finally, there's my favorite theory, a military experiment gone sideways. This one's popular in a few different circles. Rumors have swirled for decades about secret genetic experiments, super soldier projects, and government testing in underground labs. Some believe Dogman could be a byproduct of something like that, bred for war or surveillance, or worse. Maybe it escaped, or maybe it's doing exactly what it was made to do. Far-fetched? Maybe, but not impossible. Whatever the answer is, one thing's clear. People are definitely seeing something. And it's not just bullshit in their heads. Because Dogman ain't going away. If anything, it's showing up more often. People are still seeing these things right now. Not in dusty old legends or blurry campfire stories from the 80s. I'm talking about truck drivers, hunters, and regular folks just stepping outside for a smoke, running into shit that shouldn't exist. Dogman is still out there, somewhere. And the more I dig into these modern sightings, the more I wonder, what the hell is this thing? Is it a flesh and blood creature? A cryptid that's managed to stay hidden all this time? Or are we looking at something bigger, something darker, a spirit, an interdimensional being, a predator from somewhere else that just fucking slips through now and then? Or maybe it's all a bunch of horse shit. Maybe it's just fear. Shadows playing tricks on tired eyes. But here's the thing, not everyone's imagining it. Too many people are seeing the same creature, the same face, the same impossible eyes staring from the edge of the woods. Because somewhere out there in the dark, it's watching. If you thought this video was doggone good, howl at that like button and hit subscribe. That way you won't miss out on more of my fucked up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. So, what is Dogman? A beast? An interdimensional entity? Or a walking nightmare? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're ready to go all in, that join button's got your name on it. For just $2.99, you can have my back in a big way. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.